If you want to make someone mad in Louisiana, tell them how you make gumbo. It's almost guaranteed they have a different recipe than you, and however they make it is quote unquote the right way. Well, this is how I do it, so let's get started. I make my roux in the oven. I'm not standing over the stove stirring this stuff constantly, so set your oven to 350. Get you about 3/4 cup of oil, about a cup of flour. Get in a heavy pot and stir it up real good. It's all mixed in. Then once it's mixed in, put it in the oven for about 30-minute increments. So you're going to do 30 minutes, come out, stir it, put it back in there. 30 minutes, come out, stir it. And then keep repeating that until it's the color you want. And I promise you, it's going to taste the same. You can get any kind of color you want on it doing it this way. You want it really, really dark, you can get it really, really dark doing this. Just leave it in there longer. And sometimes you can turn the heat up. It'll cook faster if you turn the heat up. So if you need to do it quicker, you can do it quicker with the heat higher. All right, I got about 5 or 6 chicken thighs, boneless, skinless, and 2 chicken breasts. It's about all the meat you're going to need. I dropped in a couple of bouillon cubes in there, and I'm going to boil this chicken. Don't worry about the flavor. It's going to soak up the flavor of the gumbo as it cooks. It's not going to end up tasting like boiled chicken, so don't worry about that. I got about a pound of andouille sausage. You can use smoked sausage if you want, but adding andouille will add a whole lot more flavor to the gumbo. So I use nothing but andouille in something like this. But if you can't find it where you're at, or you don't like it for some reason, then you can use something else. But it's best to use andouille if you want the good flavor. I just cut it up in slices like this. This is about the perfect size. Once you're done cutting up your sausages, put it to the side in a bowl. Get you a pot heating up, a large stock pot. And let's start cutting vegetables. You're going to need 1 onion, 2 to 3 stalks of celery, and a large bell pepper. My bell pepper's already cut up. I've been saving it, so I don't need to cut that up today, but I'm going to cut my onion and celery up right now. You're also going to need about 3 cloves of garlic, so you can cut that up with everything else. Okay, our chicken's done. You want to get to about 165. Once it's at that temperature, you can go ahead and pull it out, put it to a pan, let it cool down so you can shred it. Once you take your chicken out, save your water. Don't pour it out. We're going to need that later. Okay, you see here my large stock pot. It's been heating up. So I'm going to put a little oil on the bottom. We're going to add our sausage and we're going to start browning it up. You'll see the color change on your sausage, and you'll see the bottom of the pan starting to get dark too. That's when you know it's about ready, and a lot of this fat will render out as well. Okay, our sausage has been cooking for a while. You can see the oil is darker. You see the color on the sausage has gotten darker. You see the bottom of the pan has stuff on the bottom. That's what you want stuck to it. We'll get that off later with the vegetables. Don't worry about that. Just take your stuff out with a slotted spoon and just set your sausage to the side for now. Once your sausage is out, it's time to start doing your vegetables. You're going to want to cook these for a while. You want to get them good and soft, and you want to use the vegetables to scrape up all the stuff on the bottom. If something's being stubborn, it's not coming up, it just take you a little bit of stock, pour it on there just enough to get the stuff off the bottom. You're going to need just a splash, and that stuff will come right up. This is a tall pot, so it's hard to actually let you see what I'm doing, so I moved it to the side, get a little better view. See how the bottom's coming clean? The more you cook them vegetables, the more cleaner it'll get. I didn't add any water to it or any liquid, so it's just coming on up. The vegetables have liquid in it, and they'll pull a lot of that stuff off the bottom. Our roux's been going for about an hour, so let's check on it. I'll be honest, I ran short on time. I usually get it darker than that, but it'll be fine. It ain't gonna taste any different. It'll cook down some more too, and as we cooking these vegetables, it'll get darker. But we're gonna add it to them. We're gonna stir them around a little bit longer. When you add your roux in, if your heat's too hot, you might want to turn it down, because you're going to need to be stirring at this point, because while your roux is in your pan on direct heat, it can burn, and you do not want your roux to burn. If it's burnt, you got to start all this all over again. It's going to taste bad for the whole gumbo. All right, just as I promised, it got a little bit darker. See that? That's good. That's fine right there. I wouldn't lie to you. Told you to get darker, it got darker. All right, now we're going to start adding some liquid to it. I got 2 32-ounce things of chicken stock I'm going to add on there. Like I've said in the past, if the stock is warm, it'll mix in better and won't break up your roux as much. I didn't heat it up, obviously. It came straight from the carton. So you see how it's broken up? If it was warm, it wouldn't break up as much. So if you have time, you remember to, biggest thing's remembering, then heat it up. At this point, if you turned your heat down, you can turn it back up. You want to get this liquid hotter again, so it'll start mixing in that roux. Okay, remember I said we'd need that liquid from the chicken? Well, this is where we're going to use it. Get about 2 to 4 cups of it and add it into the pot. Give it a good stir and get everything mixed around really good. At this point, too, we're going to go ahead and add our sausage back in. Okay, now it's time for the absolute worst part of making gumbo and shredding the chicken. Some people leave whole bones and all that in their gumbo. I don't want to pick through bones. I'd rather just shred it. You can also put it, if you have like a stand mixer, you can put the chicken in the stand mixer with the paddle. It'll break up your chicken for you too. Or you could do like I do. Sometimes I make my wife do it because I don't like doing it. So whatever method you like, or you can sit here and peel it by your hand like I'm doing. Another good idea, you can tell your kids, hey, you want to help cook? And you show them how to do it on a couple of pieces, and then they can finish the rest for you. I mean, it's a win-win. You don't got to shred it, and they think they're helping. So anything you can do to make this easier and less boring and less monotonous, I say go for it. Okay, I'm finally about done with this chicken, so let's get ready to put it in the pot. Get all this stuff together. Once you're done with that terrible job, go ahead and add your chicken to the pot and get it stirred around real good. Okay, let's start seasoning. You're going to need about a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning. I'd like to do a little bit of Worcestershire in there. I just add a little bit. That's going to make some people mad, but I really don't care. That's how I like to make mine, so that's what I'm going to do. Add a little bit of hot sauce too. I like to add hot sauce to it. And with the seasoning, like anything else, do it to taste. If you like more seasoning, add more. If you like more hot sauce, add more hot sauce. You don't like Worcestershire, don't add it. Doesn't really matter. Everything mixed in real good, and then we're going to get it to a boil, turn it down to a simmer. We're going to simmer it for at least 2 hours, preferably longer, preferably at least 4. If you're going to cook this for a party, I recommend making it and then serving it the next day. Make it, cook it for a couple hours, put it in the refrigerator, serve the next day. Gumbo, like most soups, is better after it's had time for all the flavors to sit in it for multiple hours. So cook it, then next morning reheat it up. If you try this, let me know how you like it.